Hey traders, so I had a very long conversation with one of our trade club trader yesterday night, and he was asking me, "Hey Neil, after you coaching so many traders, after you trading, being in the market for so many years, what do you think is one of the biggest contributing factor to any trader's inconsistency?" And after having some thought about it, I told him one key thing, which is most traders are simply being distracted. So being distracted has a lot of it branches out to a lot of points. But if we were to talk about one key thing, it is most traders give up on a trade idea too quick. So what does it really mean? So what's a trade? Let's talk about what's a trade idea to begin with. A trade idea simply means today if you look at the market and you say you want to buy pound dollar, okay, we talk about direction first. We don't even talk about a specific strategy. You wanting to buy GU, go long on GU, that's one trade idea. So let's say today you take a long on GU, you get stopped out once, twice, three times. Tomorrow you go back to GU again, you get stopped out another 2-3 times. You are taking 5 losses in one trade idea. So now we talk about the risk exposure. So how much, as much as you're risking 1% a trade, let's say you risk 1% a trade, you total your net risk exposure on this one trade idea is 5%. Why? Because the same thing you lost 5 times. But the problem is this: most traders, they have a good set, a really high quality setup, a very well thought trade idea. They get stopped out once, twice, or whatsoever 3 times. Obviously you have to walk away. You know why? Because you have already lost so many percent on one trade idea. And that's why in our trade club we focus on one key thing, which is controlling the power of 2 attempts, and also controlling our net risk exposure on one specific trade idea. So every trade idea, the max I can give it is 3%. So if let's say today I take a long on GU, I get stopped out once, twice, 3 times, I have to walk away. It's one of my principles, one of my rules. There's no way I can still sit there and try to go long on GU again. So now the thing is this: if you go back to all of your journal, if you go back to review all of your past performance, you'll realize there are many times where you get faked out and price eventually go back to your favor. There are many times where you get stopped out today, next week you go back to the same pair, realize, hey, I say I wanted to go long on gold at $1, for example, $1. It stops me out at 80 cents. It went a little bit lower, but right now it's at 150. It went up 50%. Just an example. So why does it really happen? Many of you just don't go deep into all of these, question. Good traders are those that really dig into all these actual issue. How do you even know all these problems to begin with? Is by doing tons and tons of review and self-reflection. And in our trade club, I always say one thing: question every single thing you do, and question every aspect of your system, of your trading system, your strategy, your trade management, your entry model, exit model, etc. So go back to it. How do we really control our net risk exposure on a trade, and at the same time making sure that we don't miss out a move? Is by utilizing the power of 2 attempts. So the power of 2 attempts is something that I teach to all of our traders inside the trade club, to make sure that you get stopped out once, you don't rush back into the market, and you remind yourself that I only have one more chance. If I were to use this one final chance, when can I go back in? And here comes lots and lots of re-entry criteria. So I won't go deep into what's a proper re-entry model. So basically, after it gets stopped out once, you need to have a set of criteria to tell you, in order for me to go back in order for me to respect the power of 2 attempts, when can I actually go in? Is by waiting patiently for price to validate your initial thesis. So let's say today you want to go long at $1. Price drops, stops you out, go to 80 cents. Anything below your initial stop loss is what we so-called the invalidation point. So let's say your first position, your entry is at $1. Stop loss is at 90 cents. So on all of you, again, to illustrate, to imagine this. Entry at $1, stop loss is 90 cents whatsoever. Anything below 90 cents, you have to walk away. Why? Because you're wrong. So when can you get back in? Is when price stay and hold back above the $1 mark, which is your initial entry level. Only then you're allowed to go back in. If you go back in on a second time, respecting the power of 2 attempts, you get stopped out. What can you do? You walk away. Okay? So I'm not sure if this video is too deep for some of you. If you're an elite trader, if you're someone who's been, you have consistency, you're someone who's been exploring how to trade properly, then you probably know what I'm trying to tell. It's quite advanced. I just want to through this video, let all of you know, most of you are inconsistent because you are distracted. Another way of saying you're distracted, it can be also saying that you are just too greedy. You get stopped out, immediately go from pound dollar, go to euro yen. Go from euro yen, go to pound Canadian. You just keep pair flipping or setups flipping because you're always looking to take the next trade, the next trade, the next trade. But the reality is the best setup are those that you have a good game plan. You get stopped out, it's okay. Getting stopped out is part of the probability business. But the key thing is it still a correct trade idea? If the answer is yes, when can you go back in? So I hope this lesson give all of you like an aha moment. This is something that I always emphasize as a full-time trader. I can get stopped out once, I can get stopped out twice, but is this still a valid trade idea? Because becoming a good trader has nothing to do with being being a perfectionist. There will be times where I get stopped out once, twice. After some assessment, after some review, I still realize it's a good trade. And guess what? I go back in on the 3rd time. And sometimes I make money on the 3rd attempt. So some will say, hey, you are just blindly going, no. We have a specific criteria. You need to know exactly what you're looking for. Then you can become consistently profitable. Okay, so stop pair flipping. Stop being too cocky, trying to go from here to here to here to here. One thing that I always say is, if you're a trader who's always looking for the next opportunity, if you're someone who always want to catch every single thing, you will end up lose everything and you get nothing. One of our traders has this problem. So I'll give you one real case, right? So one of our traders, his initial trade idea was to let's say buy euro dollar. He want to go long on pound dollar, not euro dollar. And after he go long on pound dollar, he quickly realized, hey, maybe euro dollar is not bad. Guess what? He closed his position on pound dollar, he switched to euro dollar. And I think he broke even on a pound dollar, switched to euro dollar. And guess what? After he take the euro dollar, pound dollar end up becoming the one that starts running. I know it's a different topic, but the same logic applies. The same psychological thing apply. If you're always trying to look left and right, you will end up missed out everything. And that's why whenever you get stopped out, don't immediately flip pair. Don't immediately walk away. First thing, assess whether if it's still correct. Because there are times where it really will take 1, 2, 3 attempts to get it right. But the thing is, are you being disciplined enough? Are you being patient enough to wait for the right opportunity, the right timing? So that's it for the video. If you all like it, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.